Hi all, welcome back to Puzzle Streak Ladder. Today we're starting at the 50 mark and starting with a 2038 rated puzzle. So this one, um, first thing I notice is kings kind of branched out over here, and we also have this move because this bishop is pinned. So I notice it can't move anywhere. We could maybe play this and add another attacker to the bishop, and I think that is the correct move. Um, I don't really see a response for black. The rook can try defending again, but we just take the rook. Um, so rook to h5. What options does black have there? He doesn't really have any checks. No discoveries. So rook h5. Is there any defense? I really don't think so. We we can't really take advantage of the spin just yet with g4 because black does have two attackers on that square. So yes, I believe rook h5 is the correct answer here. Just play it. Okay, he plays rook to g4, and we need to be a bit careful here. If we take with the rook, he just takes our queen, and then we take on f6, but he takes back on f6. So I believe the move is to just capture the bishop and the queen. And that's it for this one. Okay. So this puzzle honestly looks like it's going to be forking the king and the rook somehow. This rook's vulnerable right now. And if we fork the king and the rook, we'll be in a situation where we're up 3 pawns. So that just has to be winning, especially with queens, with only the queens on the board. So let's see how we can try and get this fork. My first thought is to play check and then get over here with check somehow. Um, Unfortunately, with check, um, white can maybe just move his king this way. Doesn't have to step onto the square, which is a little bit annoying, but check king here. We can give another check, check king here. There's not really any tricks with this, like without check, so I don't think that's the correct way of going about stuff. Also, maybe this check, but I don't really see how we take advantage of that because then this critical square is actually covered. So, hmm, only two checks in this position that makes sense. This one and this one. So, I don't think it's a quiet move for the first move. Aha! Actually check, and we don't have to rely on this square. We can actually just use this square, which I somehow missed. So check. Um, King, I believe, has to step to the second rank, and then we give a check and win the rook. Yeah, that's it. I somehow missed. We could just use this square. I'm pretty sure that's the answer. Yep. And now we can take the rook. Okay. Number 53. So this one, hmm, we have this very juicy g7 square, but the queen actually covers it. Hmm. We are being attacked ourselves right now. So it stands to reason that the first move I would look at would just be rook takes rook, then pawn takes rook, and actually, yep, that's winning because rook takes rook, pawn takes rook, just the most obvious moves. The queen can't take back because then we have mate. So rook takes, f takes, then we actually have h7 check. and that's um, that's deflecting the king away from the defense of the rook. So at 7 check, and I think wherever the king goes, um, I think his only move is to actually take. We actually take the rook, and we're actually safe down here with our own king. So he won't have any devastating checks or anything after queen takes on f8. So yeah, I believe that's the variation. I don't see anything better here. For the first move, it just kind of has to be rook takes e6. That really isn't anything else. So yep, now we play at 7 and we take rook. All right, d4. So this queen is the only one defending this rook, and I believe the most obvious move would just be to attack that queen to deflect it away from defense of that rook. After knight to b4, his only move to defend, I believe, is queen to e3, and then after that we can actually take this pawn, forking the queen and the rook. That does seem promising. It does feel like I'm missing something though. I don't think it's that easy. So what if knight to just b4? Knight to b4. Then is that the only way he can defend the rook? Any weird checks or anything? If knight to b4, queen to c4, then we just take, right? But then he can take bishop, and then our knight's kind of in danger. Hmm. Okay, let's explore that. Knight to b4, queen to c4, queen takes rook, bishop takes bishop. What do we do after that? Pawn takes bishop, queen takes knight, then queen takes bishop. Yeah, and I guess the um resulting position is just up full rook. We've gotten the two pieces back. Yeah, this seems promising, I guess. Um, think I don't think white has any checks, like any in between moves, because this square is always covered. So knight to b4. If the queen tries to stay defending the rook, then we just take this pawn with a fork. And if queen to c4, queen takes rook on e4. Bishop takes on d6, pawn takes on d6, knight takes, sorry, queen takes on b4, and then queen takes on e2. Yeah, I think that's satisfactory. I'm just gonna go ahead and play it. Okay, but here I guess we can just take, yeah, this is the same principle. Queen to c4, queen to d2, it's the same thing. We're gonna win the bishop at the end, essentially. So queen takes rook. Now, I guess we just take. Do I have to be worried about queen takes d6 at the end? And is there any in between move here? Maybe I should play knight here, now that I think about it. Hmm. Actually, not. I mean, am I really worried about pawn takes bishop, queen takes knight, queen takes bishop, and queen takes pawn? His knight can maybe jump in there. Hmm. Here's we've reached an impasse. Knight takes pawn, rook here. And I don't think that's as good because then we take the bishop and he takes with the rook. And then all we are is I believe up an exchange instead of a full rook. Yeah, I think we have to take the bishop here. I don't see how the puzzle could end after knight takes and rook here. Just gonna take the bishop. Yep, that's correct. Let's just check that with the engine. So knight takes. Oh, even better is bishop here. And the knight's actually trapped. Or I guess we can take here, but then queen here. Interesting. Wow. On your what? Queen takes c7. Yeah, then this is insurmountable. Let's move so his bishop blocks. Okay, that was a nice one. Um, I guess I kind of made the right decision taking back here. Um, if knight takes, what if rook to c1? Yeah, I guess then we take here. I guess it's still fine for black, but I would rather be up with rook. Yep, that was a good puzzle. Um, moving on to 55, last puzzle of the session. Hey, um, so this again, this queen is the only one defending this rook. If this queen wasn't there, we crashed through on f3. So immediately I'm looking at bishop to g5, and I believe that's winning because bishop to g5, the square he's going to go to is probably going to be f2, and then after that we can mass trade on f3. So this happens, and then we take the bishop, the hanging bishop at the end. And I believe that is winning because we have this move next targeting these pawns. And this pawn is not going to be able to promote, but we're going to win these pawns in return. So I don't think it's an issue. And this king is too close to this pawn for this to be a threat. So yeah, I think it just has to be bishop g5. I don't see anything else here. You can maybe try rook takes, but then queen takes, and we don't really have anything. You can take the pawn, I guess, but I don't think that's solution, and white can take this pawn then after that anyway. Yeah, I think it is bishop to g5. Let me just make sure. If rook takes on f8, then we just take the queen, and white doesn't have any like threatening checks here or anything. And actually, I'm just mistaken. He can't even take the queen. He can't even take the rook. It's pinned. Mhm. Queen here and queen takes pawn. So if bishop here and queen takes pawn, then again I think we just mass trade and then take here at the end. That has to be right, I think. I'm just going to play bishop to g5. It is correct. He does take, but now I believe we can mass trade. Just checking any other options. Yeah, I think we have to. And then we take the bishop at the end. Okay, we've reached 55. You're on a 2092 rated puzzle. Um, these other ones, um, this one was here, and then take. This one was 2083. Did we have a 2100 puzzle here? I'm just going to get this one wrong so I see it. This was 2047. This one was 2056. So there's no 2100 rated puzzles yet, but these are nice and challenging. We're at 55. And yes, I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.